Good afternoon. It's Chelsea Whittington, and I am here live at the Gary Housing Authority with my client, my friend, my confidant, my buddy, Jose Ibarra. And we are here because the year is almost over. I can hardly believe this. And you and I have been rocking all year long, despite the pandemic. So many things going on with Gary Housing Authority, from the feedings with the community to the various course offerings that you have been providing to residents and the community, the growth of the Envision Center, the announcement that the former Du Bois Library is the new future home of the Envision Center. So I wanted to come this Christmas week to come by and do a recap with you, and then talk about some of the exciting things that are going to take place in 2021. And I'm excited for the residents of Gary, Northwest Indiana, Gary Housing Authority, the team. Jose, what's going on?
Not much. Glad to see you. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thanks for taking some time out to come out here. But 2020 has definitely been a year for us.
A doozy.
Yeah, but you know, I was typing up an email that I'm going to send out to partners, and at the end of the day, it's been a successful year.
Yeah.
We were able to push through this whole COVID pandemic, and at the end of the day, still be able to provide services and resources to the Gary residents,
Which is our mission.
and I'm looking forward to 2021.
Yeah.
I know everyone's looking forward to it for their own personal reasons, but I think for me, there's so much a great future going on with the Gary Housing Authority, specifically the Gary Envision Center.
So talk to me about how the pandemic made you have to pivot and change the services, yet still be effective to the community that you serve.
So, you know, if we look back at January 2020, we actually had a full calendar of workshops and services and resources available through the Gary Envision Center. I mean, we had multiple workshops going on at the same time. We had a job fair plan, a resource fair plan, and so forth. And the pandemic came, we got hit with it, and as everyone else, we had to figure out how to move remotely. But then, you know, we had to take a break so that we could take care of ourselves.
Yes.
But when we were ready to push forward, that's when we were given an opportunity to do a food giveaway for all the city of Gary.
I enjoyed that.
I know
really
my
did.
team really did a great job doing it. I was there one time, but I still needed to recover. But you know, the whole thing about the Gary Envision Center is to bring resources, build self-sufficiency with Gary residents. And it was our way of taking this opportunity to rebrand ourselves, of telling people, like, because one thing I heard when we started with the Envision Center is like, all these programs come to Gary and they disappear. And I was afraid that the Envision Center was going to be that.
The same thing.
But because of COVID. And the food giveaway that we had in June was a great way for us to rebrand ourselves. Then my team and I came together and we figured out we got to go with the norm. And the norm is virtual workshops. Schools are doing e-learning. You know, some of our partners weren't as comfortable with it, but we're like, we just got to do it. And we started off with, I think, 15, 20 workshops here and there. We're still struggling with some residents not participating because they're not used to technology.
That digital divide.
But it's okay, because then we jumped on board and became part of the Connect Home USA network, and that's going to help build bridge the gap of the internet division within our families and our residents. So, you know, all these barriers are being thrown at us, and we're trying to figure out, let's move with it and figure out how to do it. So, you know, and then I think September, October, with our partnership with Work One, they're like, hey, you know, let's do the job fairs. We had 3 great, successful job fairs at the
new home of the Gary Envision, 19th and Broadway, or 1831 Broadway, 19th and Broadway,
19th
we say.
Broadway, yeah.
The old Du Bois Library. And tell me how that's coming along, or what the plan is around that. Do we have to, we're in search of funding and for remodeling and things like that?
So the original plan was for my team and I to just move over there and just start doing some of the workshops there and services. But we decided to kind of put that on hold and really focus on the fundraising.
Okay.
And we've had some conversations with some funders, some banks, and kind of letting them know, like, this is going to be a really huge opportunity for investors to come in, because what's missing in Gary is a one-stop shop where federal partners, local partners, state partners could come in and provide these services for our residents. Because, you know, transportation is an issue in Gary, and so if we have everything one stop, that was my original vision, and I'm glad that we're taking a break to just focusing on the fundraising. And so I'm hoping that come early first quarter in 2021 that we'll be able to say exactly where we're at. But
and the cool thing about the location is in Midtown. It's on a bus line, you know, and it's also near like 94, you know, so it's very accessible. So I'm hoping that someone will see this video or get wind that support is needed as you look to build out that space. And I can even envision, you know, like as you're naming rooms, this could be the, you know, whatever benefactor, the Jose Ibarra conference room when you donate your 10,000, and the CWIT computer lab and whatnot. But in all seriousness, we definitely need that hub. And I want to emphasize that this is not just for Gary Housing Authority residents, and people don't realize that the services, the workshops, the seminars, the job fairs, they're for Northwest Indiana, Gary proper. And so we just want to make sure that people know that when they say, oh, this is a Gary Housing Authority video, but Gary Housing Authority supports the Gary community.
Correct. I mean, the great thing is that the Gary Housing Authority is taking the lead with the Gary Envision Center, but our application was to serve all of the city of Gary. So if you're following us on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever, know that all of these services and programs that are being offered through the Gary Housing Authority's Envision Center is open to all of the city of Gary.
Now let me tell you about Jose. Pandemic or not, he does not stop. And as soon as I walked in, he hands me this. This is the calendar for 2021, January 2021.
Mind you, it's two-sided now.
Oh, excuse me. It certainly is. You know I need my glasses, Jose, so I'm going to read this later. But I'm going to lean on you to just give me a recap. I see we have some new partners, and then we have some returning partners. What types of courses and webinars can the community expect?
So first of all of these workshops are going to be available through our Facebook. We're going to publish them on our events calendar, share them. Everything's on Zoom. One of our partners that has been very, very consistent, and they do a weekly workshop, is our Social Security Administration.
Yes.
They talk about anything that has to do with Social Security benefits, retirement, and so forth. And I think residents are finally catching on that it's easier for them to talk to a representative through there, and then they provide the services. One of the other ones that we kind of heard from people is, where are the youth focused? Youth.
Okay.
And we heard that.
Okay.
So we do have some youth-focused workshops. They're going to be taking places Wednesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 5. So Gary School Corporation and any other school,
I got you.
Please make sure. I mean, in the reality, you know, the Envision Center is to serve everyone of all ages. You know, we've had workshops for parents, seniors, kids, but there was nothing for
fathers.
We had a young fathers program. I remember.
You know I follow you.
So, but now we're going to have a financial literacy workshop for high school youth.
Oh, that's needed.
My team's doing a pen pal program. So, you know, you got kids at home that are bored, so they're going to try to create a pen pal system where they could write a letter to some of the seniors in Gary.
I love it.
Intergenerational, connect everyone together.
I love
it. HIV basics. Community Health Net, you know, health and wellness is one of our focuses.
Hey, Dr. Seabrook.
So they're going to come and do workshops on that.
Okay.
My team is taking a lead on some other workshops. We have an intern from IUN. She's doing one on signs, symptoms, and effects of drug abuse.
Okay.
So, you know, we're really trying to do a little bit of everything. Because, again, you know, that's our pillars of opportunity are economic empowerment, educational advancement, character and leadership, health and wellness. And we are going to be changing from STEM to STEAM. We are going to be
adding the arts.
We are adding the arts. The beauty of it is, as we transform into the actual Gary Envision Center as its own nonprofit, we're going to be able to change some of the programming. And we recognize that STEAM is the way to go moving forward with the youth. We have a workshop with Humana on how to protect yourself from scams. It's for our seniors on Medicare. One of our new partners is Precision Coding and Education Solutions.
Okay.
And they're going to do a seminar on medical building and coding opportunities for youth. So if a youth is interested in this kind of career path,
They can get introduced to it at an early age. Yep. I love it.
Purdue is doing one on eating smart and moving more.
I need that one.
How do you stay active while working from home, having your kids there, eating healthy and so forth? So we've expanded, and I really want to thank my team. We kind of took a break from workshops in December to really focus on engaging our partners again. Mm-hmm. And again, thank you to the partners.
Yes.
Because all of our workshops are being provided by all of our partners.
And they're absolutely free. So I tell you what I'm going to do or continue to do. I'm going to take this, you know how we JPEG it, we PDF it, and we send it and post it any and everywhere so that people can share. Information is power. Wouldn't you agree? And if you're at home, maybe some of us who are taking care of our parents are looking for these resources, Social Security 101, how to avoid scams. I mean, how many times do we read in the newspaper or hear on the news where somebody has come to a senior's home, posing to be somebody else, or calling, and then they're getting duped out of money and money's removed from their accounts and things like that. These type of courses are in place to ensure that they are aware of this, and we, those of us in the sandwich generation, whether we're taking care of kids or parents sandwiched in between, can capitalize on these free workshops and spread the word and help their family members. So how soon do we start? I'm ready.
So the first session is January 5th.
Okay.
I want to add, we're hoping that this will bring more engagement. So we were able to secure for right now, at least for January, we're going to be raffling off gift cards, 2 gift cards at each workshop.
Oh, that's nice.
So think about it, 30 workshops, you join in for all 30 workshops, you have
a chance every time to win.
Yeah.
I love it. So if people are interested in, say, maybe donating raffle gifts, what do they need to do?
Send me an email.
Okay.
And then we'll talk.
Or you can inbox me too. If you're watching this on
Whichever.
Facebook, I will connect you to Jose over here at the Gary Envision Center under the auspices of the Gary Housing Authority. I'm excited for us. I just want to go on camera and go on record to make sure that when all of the remodeling happens, you know what we talked about at your new facility. I just need a little corner, a little space in there to come and do work and post up, because I want to be a part of the webinars, the workshops. But as we start off in January, they're still going to be via Zoom, virtual, right?
Yeah, we know the pandemic's going to be here for a while, so I think that we're really just taking ownership of this opportunity of, doing more virtual workshops. And at the end of the day, who knows how things are going to change, going back to normal. Mm-hmm. People are just feeling more comfortable doing virtual stuff. And, we have other things planned out, but keep joining us. And also one of the other 2 things that we've added on there is every month there's a Gary Envision Center 101.
Okay.
If you got questions about what the Envision Center is, jump on.
He has all the answers.
Who's hosting it? Me.
Of course you are.
Me. And then my team is doing for anyone that's in the Gary Housing portfolio, they have a resident services open forum. So they got questions about how do I get this service or this service, jump on it and then ask them questions. So
information is power. I can't emphasize that enough. Well, I certainly look forward to the partnership that you have forged with the community and getting the word out and pushing more and more. I also want to take this time to congratulate and extend my thanks to your executive director, Julian Marsh. We know that he announced, or it was announced, that his tenure will be coming to a close within the next few months, but we're definitely going to sit down and talk to him. We know that this was his assignment, and he came in and he took this assignment. But what I really love is how he embraced our community. And if you didn't already know, you would think that he and his wife had just been here. Their philanthropic work with the NAACP, just being at all of the different events pre-COVID, of course, and his love for the Gary community and ensuring that the Gary Housing Authority goes to the next level. All of this demolition on Broadway, sir.
It's happening.
I mean, it's
transforming.
happening.
We're revitalizing Gary physically through the support of the mayor and the city. Mm-hmm. And then my whole thing is let's revitalize our community.
Yes.
So it kind of goes hand in hand. Gary Housing Authority is taking the lead on some of the projects in that, and also revitalizing our residents. And I'm super excited to just be part of this whole.
You should be. You have been doing an amazing job. And the last thing I'll say, I'll have to tease you, because you know how those other Envision centers and those other housing authorities look to the Gary Housing Authority as an example. I mean, I've watched you present to the other sites across the country, and so you are setting the example. We're laying the foundation, and that's a great look for Gary.
It's definitely a great look, but it's something that's needed because people realize that there's so much going on here in Gary that isn't being promoted, publicized.
I'm trying, Jose.
Oh, you're doing an excellent job. But when we're being asked, like, hey, can you present on how things are going? It's like,
yeah,
Gary's been on the map.
Yes.
Gary's been on the map, and I'm so proud to say that I'm just helping it elevate to that. So, you know, I'm not from Gary, and I'm so grateful for the residents here that have embraced me and allowed me to bring in some of my crazy ideas to get there. But to me, this calendar, 2 pages, this is going to go live today on our Facebook. Give me a few days and I'll have individual flyers for each one. I ask you guys, keep sharing these posts. Yes, all of these posts are for the community. If there's workshops that you're interested in, send us a message. Just say, hey, can you get a partner to do A, B, and C? For the raffle, I will say is that we are going to have a quick survey at the end of each workshop, 3 or 4 questions, because we want to know feedback, and then only those that participate in that are going to get put in the raffle. Regardless, though, these are great informational workshops. Thank you to the partners that have committed to doing these. I'm super excited that we're starting off 2021 with 2 pages.
2 pages.
2 pages.
Well, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this calendar as well, be sharing it in newsletters and pushing it out and sending it to the media, because I want my community, this is our community, we live here, we want people to be empowered with information. And when you're empowered with information, you're able to function, get some skills, whether it's getting a job, whether it's just having knowledge to be able to help a family member, help our young people. I mean, congratulations to the Gary Envision Center.
Thank you. And I want to also just say thank you to my team. I have, this whole thing started off with me.
I thought so.
And now I'm so glad to have 2 full-time resident services coordinator, have IUN MSW insurance. IUN's been a great support with all of this, and then we have 2 AmeriCorps Vista members that are going to be.
Oh, great!
So you're going to be seeing a lot more happening through our Envision Center because of the support that we keep getting.
Yes, and now I have to close with our final order of the day that I have to do, and it's just because you have always been so supportive of everything that I'm trying to do in the community in partnership with the Gary Housing Authority and with the Gary Envision Center. You're so responsive. You're so open to be out in the community to helping people. And so that just only shows the sign that you are with this community. And so I have to give you your Who You With sweatshirt for the holidays. You snuggle up in that. And you enjoy
on a
some
personal
time
note,
out.
I do TikTok videos here and there, so it's gonna get TikTok famous.
I love it.
For those that need a PR person with a dedication and heart, Chelsea and her team.
Thank
I
you.
mean, I think that's part of when they ask us how is it that you guys are able to be so successful. We know that social media is the way that it's key to get the word out.
Yes.
So thank you for being part of this, and I look forward to even more.
Right. Well, everybody, happy holidays from the Gary Envision Center, Gary Housing Authority, CWIT. Follow this page, share the information, empower yourselves, and make sure you have a blessed and happy holiday. We'll see you next time. Who you with?